Welcome back to our channel. This is week 5 of our SKOOLIE bus conversion. So before we get started in this week's video, we did have a quick and rather exciting update.
We recently decided to leave our jobs so that we can focus on working on the bus conversion full time. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, and we realize that we're super lucky to be in this position so young, where we have the savings to take some time off and figure out what we want to do next. We're really grateful for this opportunity to focus on the bus and full-time travel and exploring what's around us in the US and Canada and who knows where else.
We've really enjoyed working on the bus while working full-time for the past 2 or so months, but it hasn't gotten our full attention. We knew that we were going to make this change eventually, and now it just seemed like the best time. So we did it. I think things are gonna change a lot, hopefully. We'll be able to focus a lot more on this project.
So yeah, we are just on cloud 9. We're so excited to be able to do this. We're nervous, but we're excited, and we're just so confident that this is the right thing for us to do right now. So getting into what we're gonna work on this week, you might have noticed that the bus stores currently have trash bags over 3 of the 4 window panels.
All right, so with this project, we'll hopefully bring the first little bit of color to our build. When I say color,
It means brown.
Yeah, it's just brown, but it's not white, so I'm really excited about it. So basically, we had the idea of covering up the bottom 2 windows of the door with a wood barn door frame, so they would replace the 2 windows, basically. All right, let's do it. Four more to go. Dude, I'm excited. This is gonna look really good. Yeah, at first I was worried that these boards would have been like too thick, but I think this way, I think we can get about 5 boards across.
This is what we're imagining that the final panels will look like. So we have like 5 pieces of wood, and then we're thinking about having kind of a trim on the outside. So it'll be like a long piece here, a long piece here, and then a short piece at the top, and then another at the bottom, and then a diagonal one go across, like kind of like this, if you can imagine. So that's kind of what we're thinking, but we still need to stain it because we want this to be like a dark walnut color. But that's kind of like what we're picturing in our heads, but we're not sure how well it's going to turn out once we actually put it into practice. I think the next step for this will be to cut all the trim pieces to size, and once those are cut, then I think we can start staining. We have the 5 panels fitted in here. They fit really nicely. We had to cut a little bit extra off of each side so that they were flush, but they kind of stand on their own. We'll definitely screw them in and glue them together and everything. You can kind of see it on here the best, I think. But this lip will come in front of the planks that we have vertically stacked. We're gonna attach from the outside some trim, but since there's this little lip, we're gonna cut a small rectangle into the end of each of these trim pieces so that it fits against the vertical planks that we have. Once we have all of those measured out and cut, we're gonna worry about the diagonal pieces. Jimmy, you're too young to start whittling.
I found my new passion. I'm a whittling man now.
The bus is old news to you now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring out some of the natural lines in the wood. So while staining, instead of just starting off by going over the entire surface of the wood with a coat of stain, I want to kind of use a paintbrush to outline all the natural lines so that they're more pronounced. But I didn't think about that till recently, so when we were at the store we didn't get a paintbrush. But I think that's okay, because we had some wooden dowels left over from another project, and so a paper towel, and some painter's tape. It also works as a torch. I'm kidding, don't do this for a torch.
So Natalie's been busy sanding and staining the wooden boards that will go in the middle. While she's been doing that, I've been cutting the grooves that will go into the trim pieces. So I just kind of want to showcase it after the fact. So afterward, I just used the table saw and cut a little slit into these boards so that when we put it up against the frame like this, it becomes flush with the door. So we've got 4 panels that go on the side, and then 4 that will go at the top here, like that. And once we have them all in place, they'll be flush with the door. So can I touch it?
You should be able to.
All right, it feels dry.
That's good. We let the boards that we stained dry overnight, and so now they should be ready to move forward with. We still need to attach them together and to cover them with a urethane coat.
Yeah, I think we might dry fit them inside the window frame. We're getting close. I can see the finish line.
So while we've been waiting on these boards to dry, Jimmy and I have been working on replacing the one window up top that we're not going to put a panel on, and we got it in. So now we have 2 windows, and then the bottom 2 will have the wooden panes once we're done putting them together.
Yeah, we were not expecting to put the second window in today, but we had some time as we were waiting for the wood glue to dry, so we tried it. It was a lot more difficult than we thought. Basically, we had to shove these screwdrivers in around the rubber seal and shove the glass panel back into the rubber frame. I was really sure we were going to crack the window, but I'm glad we didn't. And I'm also glad that we decided to do the wooden doors for the bottom 2, because I will not do that a second time. That was so painful. So I've let these boards dry for about 24 hours now, so I think we can safely take off the clamps. We already tried to dry fit the first set of boards, and they were a little too tight for the window frame. So I think what we'll do is we'll take them to the table saw and then just trim off maybe a 1/4 inch just to get that nice snug fit. Once we do that, Natalie will start hitting them with the outdoor urethane that we bought. And that will help seal it in and prevent any damage from the rain.
We tried fitting the glued together boards into the window on the bus door, and it fits pretty well, but it's a little bit tight, so we decided to give it a little bit extra wiggle room. So each of these 2 panels has a cut taken off the top to fit really well, even once we have a urethane coat added onto it. Speaking of a urethane coat, that is actually the next step. So I'm gonna get working on that so that it's protected against the weather. So for this part of the project, I'm excited to have had a small upgrade to a real paintbrush. So I finished putting on a urethane coat onto the back of the two main panels and on the back of all the trim pieces. I would say it looks good, but to me it just looks wet. I also have these pieces over here that are drying. I'm gonna wait for these to dry overnight, but we'll pick you back up tomorrow. Good morning. It's tomorrow. And these are dry, so I can touch them and it's no big deal. They feel kind of, I don't know, they feel the same, but this is only the first coat. Since it's going to be exterior facing wood, we want to do 3 coats. So we're going to get started on the second coat right now, and I've got Jimmy out here with me too.
Hey, I'm ready to help Natalie with the second coat. So we won't bore you with the remaining 4 coats we have to do on the front and back, so we'll see you at the end. So we just put on the last coat of urethane. It's all dry, so it's ready to be fitted into the bus windows. So we're gonna go do that now and screw it in place.
So we have the first panel in partially. We screwed in the top and the bottom pieces of trim, and we also put silicone around the entire thing. I'm happy with how it's turning out, but we have a little bit more to go. We still have to put in the tall pieces and then the diagonals, which we haven't even cut yet because we want to make sure they fit perfectly. So we're going to measure and cut them after we put in the other 4. Here's the finished product. I think it turned out pretty much how we were imagining. Jimmy also painted the rubber black again because there was some green paint on the rubber seal between the doors.
So it should be nice and watertight. We haven't tested it yet. It hasn't rained yet. So I'm a little nervous about that, but if we did our job right, there should be no leaks.
It looks pretty nice from the inside too. So this is secured with silicone around the entire trim. We also screwed in the trim pieces and into the diagonal piece.
Yeah, after putting in the second window that had popped out, I think this is more secure than these windows are. All right, well, I think that's all we have for you for this episode.
Thanks for watching. Bye.